In a rare and stunning move, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has apologized to Qatar for a deadly strike in Doha that killed a Qatari security officer. The apology, delivered from the White House, comes as a fragile ceasefire and hostage negotiations with Hamas hang in the balance. But back home, Netanyahu faces fierce criticism, with some calling it a national humiliation, while others defend the strike as a moral imperative. Diplomacy, politics and war collide in what could be a decisive turning point for the region. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued a rare and significant apology to his Qatari counterpart, Prime Minister Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al-Thani, for Israel's September 9th strike in Doha that killed a Qatari security officer. According to a report by the Axios, the apology, which came during a White House visit hosted by the US President Donald Trump, was a central condition for Qatar's return to mediation in ceasefire and hostage negotiations with Hamas.
I'm pleased to report that earlier today we took another important step toward greater understanding in the region. A short time ago, we had a historic phone call in the Oval Office with Prime Minister Thani, who's really a great person. So we had a great talk, and I was on the phone, and Bibi was talking. Prime Minister Al-Thani was of Qatar. They really had a heart-to-heart conversation. It was a great conversation, I thought. It was productive. It was everything that you need to have something turn out to be successful. And I want to thank Bibi, and I want to thank the Prime Minister. It was fantastic. We agreed to launch a formal trilateral mechanism between Israel, Qatar, and the United States to begin a dialogue to enhance mutual security, correct misperceptions, and avoid future misgivings. And I want to thank Qatar, its leadership, and the Emir. He's a fantastic person.
The strike earlier this month, intended to eliminate Hamas leaders residing in Qatar, instead killed several lower-level operatives and a Qatari guard, sparking condemnation across the Arab world and suspending Qatar's critical role as mediator in ongoing discussions to end the war in Gaza. During a trilateral call on September 30th from the White House, Netanyahu formally expressed regret, acknowledging both the violation of Qatari sovereignty and the unintended death of the serviceman.
Mr. Prime Minister, I want you to know that Israel regrets that one of your citizens was killed in our strike.
According to Israeli media reports, Netanyahu personally told Al-Thani that he regretted the incident and pledged not to carry out any further strikes on Qatari soil. Israel, sources added, has also agreed to pay compensation to the family of the slain officer, signaling a rare conciliatory step.
I want to assure you that Israel was targeting Hamas, not Qataris. Israel has no plan to violate your sovereignty again in the future, and I have made that commitment to the President. Your leadership has grievances against Israel, and Israel has grievances against Qatar, from support for the Muslim Brotherhood to how Israel is portrayed on Al Jazeera to support for anti-Israel sentiment on college campuses.
President Trump, who arranged the trilateral call after speaking separately with the Emir of Qatar, hailed the moment as a potential breakthrough. Both sides agreed to the establishment of a trilateral coordination mechanism designed to improve communication, resolve disputes, and prevent future escalations. According to US officials, the leaders underscored their shared commitment to constructing a more secure regional framework while simultaneously working toward Trump's proposed Gaza peace plan. The apology fulfills a long-standing Qatari demand and clears a major stumbling block in negotiations. Qatar, officials say, has hinted to American mediators that it can bring Hamas to accept core elements of the 21-point Trump plan, including the eventual demilitarization of Gaza, provided certain guarantees are met. For Netanyahu, the decision to apologize represents a calculated political gamble, but also a necessity. With hostages still held in Gaza and international pressure mounting, Israel requires Qatar's unique leverage with Hamas. The deal discussed in Washington could soon pave the way for the release of captives and a ceasefire. Back in Israel, however, Netanyahu's apology drew sharp criticism from political opponents and members of his own governing coalition. Opposition chairman Yair Golan strongly denounced the move, framing it as a national humiliation.
Before this man, Israel's enemy, a Jew hater, Netanyahu humiliated himself and groveled. Netanyahu is weak and corrupt. He was and remains a full collaborator of Hamas and Qatar, and for this there will be no forgiveness for him, not on this Yom Kippur, nor on another 100 Yom Kippurs.
On the other end of the spectrum, far-right National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir defended the initial strike, blasting the apology as a betrayal of Israel's fight against terrorism.
The attack on Hamas leaders, the planners of the October 7th massacre in the enemy state of Qatar, was an important, just, and supremely moral attack. It is very good that it happened. Whoever sends monsters to burn babies, rape women, and abduct elderly women must know that there is no place in the world where he is safe. It is time to tell the world the truth. Qatar is a state that supports terrorism, funds terrorism, and incites terrorism. No money will cleanse the terrorism from their hands.
Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich also joined in with his condemnation and slammed Netanyahu for apologizing to Qatar's leader over Israel's strike on Doha, branding it appeasement. Smotrich likened Netanyahu's move to Neville Chamberlain's 1938 Munich Agreement with Nazi Germany, signed 87 years ago tomorrow, quoting Winston Churchill's famous rebuke. Taking to his X handle, Smotrich said,
Today is the anniversary of the Munich Agreement, signed on the 29th of September 1938. Then as now, Churchill's statement resonates. England could have chosen between disgrace and war. It chose disgrace and will therefore get war as well. The groveling apology to a state that supports and funds terrorism is a disgrace.
The division within Israel highlights the profound tension between military strategy and diplomatic necessity. For Netanyahu, balancing hawkish domestic voices with the external diplomatic realities of securing Qatar's mediation will remain a political tightrope. Regional powers are now pressing Netanyahu over the future of negotiations, with the United Arab Emirates warning that any annexation of West Bank territory could derail normalization with key Arab and Muslim nations, including Saudi Arabia and Indonesia. UAE officials voiced support for Trump's peace plan, but stressed that annexation would shut the door to broader diplomatic breakthroughs. Ironically, Israel's failed strike in Doha, initially a diplomatic crisis, has generated momentum toward a larger peace initiative, with Arab states backing Trump's plan. With Netanyahu, Trump, and a Qatari delegation poised for talks, the apology could mark a critical turning point in the region's enduring conflict.